Again, Hussein, and welcome to YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to be taking care of the shop screen and also the add to cart functionality. So now let's get into it. The first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to the Redux folder. Inside the Redux folder, we want to go to the features, and inside these features, we are going to be creating one folder, give a name of like cart. And inside this cart folder, we are going to be creating one file, give a name of like cart slice.js. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab a few things. So what I want to do is that I'm gonna just first of all grab something from the Redux toolkit. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the create slice method right here. Next, I'm gonna create a cart slice, and it will be now equals to the create slice. Come on, create slice. There we go. And now inside there, first of all, we are going to be given name of like cart. I'm gonna also provide the initial state. So now, you know what, I'm gonna just declare that up above. Let me just copy there and put it right here. So const initial state will be equals to the local storage, and now from the local storage we wanted to get the item of cart. There we go. So the next thing which I want to do is that if we have this cart, so what do you want to do? We just want to parse that. So we are going to be using json.parse. Let me go back, and I'm going to just pass the local storage.get item, and here we have to just specify the cart right here. So what if that's not the case? So what do you want to do? We just want to get the cart items, and we want to set that to empty array right here. Okay, and now let me also provide the shipping address. So shipping will be equals to just an empty string, empty object, and also the payment method will be equals to PayPal, man. PayPal. There we go. So now let me just save that, and this is how it looks like for now. Okay, so now let me just paste that right here. Finally, let's just provide our reducers. So reducers, and here inside these reducers, we are going to be providing our actions. So add to cart action first of all, and now let me just provide my stat and also the action right here. And now here I'm going to use a bit of weird syntax which you won't like, but I'm going to use it anyways. So first of all, I'm going to destructure the user, the rating, and also the number of reviews, and also the reviews itself. Okay, and then I'm gonna just provide and item, just item right here, and it will be coming from the action.payload. Now you might be thinking like, Hussein, we will use this item right here, but what's the point of getting the review, the number of review, rating, and users? Can we just delete that and just put this item right here? No, we first of all want to destructure all of them, which means like we don't want that inside our data. We just only want the rest of the items, but not these few, not these four right here. Okay, so that's what it means. The next thing which you have to do is that we have to check for the existing item. So I'm going to just write exist item, and it will be now equals to state.cart items, and we want to iterate over through everything. So I'm going to use the find method for that, and I'm going to just pass x right now, and x.id is equal to item.id. so then we just want that. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing which you have to do is that we have to just check if we have the existing items. So what do you want to do? We just want to change the cart item. So we are going to be just writing like state and then .cart item, and we are going to be just writing state.cart item, and now let's just iterate over through all of them by using the map method. And here I'm going to just specify like x.id is equal to the existing item which we have inside our database .id. So we just want to get their ID. If that's the case, so what do you want to do? We just want to provide item, and if that's not the case, we just want to get all of the data which we are specifying inside this map method right here. Okay, so that's them. Now I'm going to save this file, but what about the else clause? So now let me just write the else clause, and I'm going to use like state.cart items. Well, and now it will be equals to, let's just destructure, or not destructure, but use a spread operator, and now let's just provide or clone the existing state and provide the cart items, and I'm going to also provide this additional item right here. So that would be add for that. And now the next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to this utils file, and I'm going to just get the cart.js right here. Okay, so cart.js, and now inside there we are going to be defining two utils. So the first one which I am going to define is const add decimals, and it will take one num. And now let's use our arrow function right here, and we are going to be just returning like math.round. Here we just have to specify number times 100. Okay, and we are going to be also dividing that by 100. So now let's just wrap that. Now let me just go ahead and wrap all of them, and I'm going to use the to fix just to give us two items. Just that dot you already know what this toFix will do for me. I don't have to explain that to you. So now let me just save my file. And now the next one which we are going to be creating is for updating the cart. So we are going to be just writing like const update cart, and it will be now equals to the stat. And now inside there we are going to be first of all calculating the item price. So we are going to be just using like stat item price, or yeah, items price would be fine, and it will be now equals to that add decimal util which we just created right here. And here we just have to specify the stat dot cart items, there we go. And we are going to be using the reduce method. Reduce, let me go back here, we have to specify the accumulator and also the item itself. So now let me just provide the accumulator plus item dot price right here, and then let's just use times item dot price times item dot quantity, okay, and provide a 0 at the end. So that would do it. And I guess I messed up something, so now let me just go back, or you know what, that should do it. Okay, so now underneath both of them, what do we have to do? Now we have to just calculate the shipping price. So we're going to be just using like stat.shipping shipping price, and you don't have to worry about the shipping and payment and ordering and all of them for now, which we are going to be taking care of in the next video. So I'm going to just write like add decimal, that utility which we just created, and here we just have to write stat items price right here, and we have to check if that's greater than 100. So what do you want to do? We just want to print 0, and if that's not greater than 100, so we just want to provide 10 right here. Now let me just calculate the tax price. So I'm going to just use like stat.tax tax price, and it will be now equals to add decimal, and here we just have to specify the number. I mean, like, we just have to convert that to number, and here we are going to be first of all providing 0.15, and now let me just provide times stat.items price, fix that. So I'm going to just write 2 fixed, okay, and 2 fixed, and provide a 2 at the end. So now let me just save that. Now the next thing which I have to do is that I want to calculate the total price. So I'm going to just write like stat.total price, and it will be now equals to the number. Let's just convert that to number, and stat.items price plus, I'm going to just duplicate that like 3 times, plus shipping price which we just created, and also the tax price right here. Okay, and we're not going to be providing any plus at the end. So finally let's just 2 fix that. So 2 fix and provide a 2 at the end. So now let me just save that, and I'm going to also provide a local storage and just set that to the local storage. So I'm going to use like set item and provide our cart right here, and just provide a json.stringify and provide a stat at the end. And finally let's just return our stat right here. So now let me just save that, and now it's time to use this update cart inside or cart slice right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to grab it. So I'm going to use like import update, come on, update cart from where, oh my god, it was giving us, there we go, from this utils and cart right here. And now underneath this else clause we just have to write return and update cart, and here we just have to specify the state and also the item itself. And that's it for adding the cart, or yeah, adding add to cart, there we go. And now the next thing which you want to do is that we want to remove that from cart. So I'm going to just write like remove from cart, and this one will take the state and also the action itself. Now let me just use the state.cart item, and it will be now equals to the state.cart items, and here we just have to filter through that. I'm going to provide x, doesn't matter what you provide, and now here we just have to use x, and let's just get the ID from it, and if that ID is not equal to the action.payload, and that's it. Okay, so then we just have to return the update cart and provide our state right here. Let me just go back and save that, and this is how we are going to be removing the item from the cart. Now the next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to create a save shipping address, but we are going to take care of that a bit later, but I want to create it anyways because I may forget that and I don't have to record my video again and again. So I'm going to just use like save shipping address, and now let me just provide the stat and also the action right here inside there. And now let me just write stat.shipping address will be now equals to action.payload, and now underneath that we are going to be just writing like local storage.set item, and let's just set our card and just write a json.stringify and provide our stat right here. There we go. So this is going to be for the shipping, or not, shipping address. And now let me just write one for what do we call it, save payment method, method, there we go. And now I don't want to change anything else, but I just wanted to change this one, like payment method. There we go. And I guess that would do it. And you know what, let me just provide one more for the clearing the card. So now let me just duplicate that, and let me just change the name to clear card items. And also the payment method will be the same, but for the local storage set items, or you know what, no, the payment method will not be the same. So I'm going to just remove that. I'm going to use set item and card items, and we are going to be just setting that to an empty string. And I guess that would do it. ACTION, but in this case we are not using action, but we will leave it there. What the hell. Okay, so now let me just provide a comma, and finally we are going to be creating one more action for reset card. We are creating this action for those people who already log in and set some items to a card. So once they log out, so all of their items should also be gone from their card or their local storage. So that's why I'm doing it right here. So here we just have to write state, come on state, and it will be now equals to the initial state right here. So now let me just save that, and finally let's just export all of that actions right here. So I'm going to just use like card slice and then actions. And now what I want to do is that I'm going to just write like add to cart, and also remove from cart, and save shipping method, save payment method, and method. Do we provide double S? So shipping method, oh, it should be address. There we go. And also the clear card items and reset card. There we go. So now let me just save that. And the final thing which I want to do is that I'm going to also export default the card slice and reducers. So reducer, there we go. Now that we successfully create our items right here, and also I mean like not items but our actions right here inside this reducer. So what I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to the store, and now let's just use it right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to grab it. First of all, I'm going to grab my card slice reducer. From where? From, let's just go ahead and go to the Redux, then the features, then the card, and now let's get the card slice right here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and now underneath this favorite, let's just use it like card, and we have to just specify the card slice reducer right here. Okay, and that would do it. Now let me just save that. And now I guess let's just use that inside our UI. I just realized that I made a mistake. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my home to this pages folder. So now let me just put that inside a pages folder, and I guess it will break a lot of things. Yeah, of course it will. So now let me just search where in the what we use, or yeah, we already use it inside a main. And where is a home? There we go. At the final stage we have that home. Let's just remove that, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to the pages. Inside the pages we have our home.jsx right here. So I'm gonna just save this file, and now let me just check it out. Save this file too, and here you can see everything is totally back. Alright, so now the next thing which I want to do is that I'm gonna go ahead, first of all let me just zoom in a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and create one more file, give a name of like card.js. And now inside this card, what do you want to do? We just want to write RAFCE and save our file. Let's just go ahead and go to the main folder and register that. Okay, so maybe I'm going to just put it right here, import card. If you can give me autocomplete, there we go. Thank you so much. And now let's just duplicate this one. And I'm going to just change that to card and provide our card right here. There we go. So now I'm going to save this file. And now let me, oh my God, card. What's up? Let's just save that. Oh, that should be JSX. JSX. There we go. I don't even know what the hell is wrong with that. It should be working. You know, I'm gonna just restart the server, everything. So now let me just restart the server. Yes, that should do it. Let's just refresh that. And we are getting... What the hell is wrong? You know, I'm gonna just do that one more time, like import card. From where? Let's just go ahead and go to the pages. Now inside these pages we have this card.jsx. There we go. And finally now it's working totally fine. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this card right now, and guess what, everything is okay. So now let me just go ahead and do my magic. Okay, not magic, but now let me just write the code. So I'm gonna just import the link, first of all the React Router DOM, and also then use navigate as well. Let me also get my use dispatch and also the use selector too. And also I'm gonna get my FA trash. From where? From my React icons and also from the FA folder. The next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to grab a few things from the features. So let's just go ahead and go to the Redux feature, not this one, but features folder. And I also want to go to the card, and then we have a card slice right here. So what do you want to get? We just wanted to get the add to cart and also remove from the cart. Okay, and that's it, baby. That's it. Okay, so now let me just use them right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I want to get my navigate, navigate, use navigate and execute that. Now the next one will be dispatch, so use dispatch and execute that. And also const cart will be equals to the use selector. And now let me just provide the state right here, and I'm going to use state.cart. Let's just go back, and this is how currently things looks like. And I'm going to also get the cart items from the cart, so it will be now coming from the cart. What will be coming from the cart? The cart items, items. There we go. And I guess that would do it. So I'm going to go ahead and write a lot of JSX for now. Let's just select both of them and remove that, make it as a React fragment. Come on, I guess that would do it. And I'm gonna just create one more div with a class of container, and flex justify will be set to around, and also around, and items will be start, and flex will be set to wrap. Margin for the x-axis will be set to auto. Margin for the top will be set to 8. There we go. So now I'm gonna just save that, and now inside there we are going to be just writing if cart.item, come on, cart.items dot length, come on, length is triple equals to 0. So what do you want to print to the user? We just want to say like, bro, cart is totally empty. So let's just close that right here, and we want to say that your cart is empty. And now let's just redirect them to what do we call it, to the shop, or maybe to the home would be fine. So I'm gonna just redirect them to the home, go back. Well, you know, I'm gonna just redirect them to the shop because we are going to be also taking care of that. So now let me just write shop, save our file, but we also have to specify if that's not the case. So what do you want to do? We just want to write nothing. Just kidding. So what I want to do is that for, you know, let's just save that and let's just check it out. So here you can see we are getting like your cart is empty, go back. Click on him and it will now just yeah, I'm not gonna go into the shop because it is, or you know what, go to shop would be fine. Now it will brings us to the shop. There we go. That's looking amazing. Now let me just take care of what do we call it, the rest of the stuff. So I'm gonna just create a flex, and flex will be set to column, and width will be arbitrary width, I mean like arbitrary value. So I'm gonna just specify 80%, and now inside there we're going to be just writing h1 of text to extra large, and font will be semi bold, and also margin for bottom will be set to 4, and it will just say like shopping cart right here. So now let's just save that, and we don't have anything inside a cart, so that's why we're not going to be able to see anything. So should I add something to the shopping cart first of all, and then we will take care of the rest of the body? I think I should. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the product details page right here, and do we have add to cart or something like that? Yep, we have. So now I'm gonna just uncomment that, save my file, and now let me just go ahead and go to the top right here, and now let me just provide that add to cart right here. So I'm gonna just write like const add to cart handler, and it will be now equals to just an empty just an arrow function. And what do I want to do inside this add to cart handler? I'm gonna save that, and now first of all let me get a few things like dispatch first of all. So dispatch, and it will be now equals to use dispatch. Now let's just execute that. The next thing which I want to do is that I wanted to get an add to cart right here. So underneath all of them I'm gonna get my add to cart from this cart slice right here. So now I'm gonna just copy that, and now let me just go ahead and dispatch that. So I'm gonna use dispatch and provide my add to cart right here, and here we are going to be providing all of the product and provide a quantity as well. Okay, and then we are going to be navigating to navigate and navigate to the cart right here. So now let me just save that, and I guess that would do it. So let's just go back, and I'm gonna just select this first camera right here, and I'm gonna just provide a quantity of, I don't know, maybe 3 would be fine. and click on add to cart, and it will now give us this shopping cart right here, which means like our items is now totally set to this application tab. We'll just go ahead and go to the local storage, and here you can see we have a cart, and we just add this item right here. So we have one item, the price will be this one, the payment method will be PayPal, the shipping address is not currently defined because we didn't specify anything to it, so we will take care of that a bit later. And shipping price will be this much, and tax price will be that much, and total price will be that amount. So yeah, everything is looking okay. So now let me just take care of this UI right here. Let's just close this one, and I'm gonna just go ahead and take care of this shopping cart right here. I want to iterate over through all of that cart items which we have inside our local storage. So I'm gonna write like cart items, and I'm gonna use a map method on that, and here we just have to specify the item right here. And now inside there we're going to be just writing a div, and I'm gonna also close that div right here like so, and provide a key to it. And for the key we are going to be providing the ID, and also let's just provide a few classes right here like flanks and items of center. Margin for the bottom we are going to be providing like 1 rem, and also padding for the bottom will be set to 2. I guess that would be it. So the next thing which you have to do is that we also have to provide a div, and for this div we are going to be providing a level of width to it, so like 5 rem of width, and also height of 5 rems. Inside there we are going to be rendering the image, so I'm going to write like image, and for the image we are going to be specifying the item.image and also the item.name. Okay, and also let me just provide a class name of width of totally full and height of totally full, and the object will be totally cover, COVER, and rounded. So I'm going to just save this file, and it should give us that image, and here you can see we are getting this image right here. That's looking amazing. So yeah, now the next thing which I want to do is that underneath this div, what do you want to do? We just want to write like flex of 1, and margin for the left will be set to 4. And now inside there we are going to be creating a link, so I'm going to write a link, and it will go to a specific product right here. So I'm going to just render like, first of all, go to the product and then a specific product ID right here. Okay, not items but just an item right here. I'm going to also specify a few classes like text of totally pink, and 500 would be fine. And now inside there we are going to be just rendering the item name like item.name. Now let me just save that, and here you can see we are getting the item name right here. So yeah, that's looking amazing. Now underneath this link, what do you want to do? We just want to render margin for a top of 2, and text will be totally white, and I guess that would be it. So now let me just write item.brand and save that, and here you can see it is now giving us this item brand right here. Now let me just duplicate that, and I'm gonna just change that to item price, PRICE, but I'm gonna have to change it. You know what, I'm gonna provide a font of bold to it. So now let me just save that and provide the dollar symbol at the end. So, and bang, that's looking amazing too. So now underneath this div, what do you want to do? We just want to write div with a width of 20, or not 20 but 24. We're going to be using the select, and for this select we are not going to be providing the name, but we will provide the ID. So first of all, let me just provide the class name of width of totally full. Padding all around will be set to 1, border rounded, and text will be set to black. Now inside this select we have to, or not inside, but we also have to specify the value attribute like quantity, item.quantity, and on change handler, what do you want to do? We just want to specify the event object and also the add to cart handler, handler, which we are going to be creating in a few seconds. So we are going to be specifying the item, and we are going to be also specifying e.target.value right here. So now let me just save that. It should give us this drop down menu right here, but we also have to render all of that items. So I'm gonna just, or not item but quantity, so I'm gonna just write like my dot and let's just convert that to array, and item dot count in count in stock. And now let me just get a keys from there, so I'm going to use a keys and execute that. Now I'm going to just iterate over through this overall stuff. So I'm going to provide an X just in case, and now I'm going to also provide options based on each of that item. So for value, I'm going to just specify like X plus 1, and I'm going to also provide, what do we call it, the key. So for the key we are going to be also providing X plus 1 too. Okay, and now inside there we are going to be just using x plus 1, and now let me just save that. Okay, so here let's just refresh that. We are not getting anything. Oh, that's because we didn't create this add to cart handler right here. So let's just do that. I'm gonna copy that, and now let me just create it right here. Const add to cart handler. It will take the product and also the quantity which we already specified to it, and let's just dispatch one add to cart, and also let's just provide dot 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 of product and provide the quantity. So now let me just save that. Let's just go ahead and check it out. I don't know why we are not getting all of that options. So now let me just go ahead and check it out inside the console. We are not getting anything inside the console. Oh, that's because we are providing that, so we have to return something from that. So we are not returning anything, but we will provide just a parenthesis right here. My bad. Come on, HuXn, what the hell are you doing? Let's just close that and save our file one more time and refresh that. And here you can see we are getting 3, so we can choose, or we can increase or decrease that if you wanted to. Anyway, so now let's just close that, and that's also solved. And now the next thing which I want to do is that underneath this select and div, I'm going to create one more div. So I'm going to just give them the name of div, and also button. And for this button we are going to be specifying the class names of text, totally red, and also 500. Margin for the right will be 5 rems, and I'm going to also specify the on click handler when somebody clicks on that. So what do you want to do? We just want to write remove from cart handler, and we just have to specify the item ID, like a specific item right here. Now inside there we are going to be also rendering, let me just save that. Now inside there we are going to be also rendering the FA trash too. Okay, and now let's just close them and provide a class name of margin for the left will be set to 1 rem, and save that. Okay, so it will give us this trash icon right here, and now if I click on that, nothing's gonna happen. But let me just put margin for the top of, I don't know, 1 rem would be fine. Save my file, and not that much, but maybe, I don't know, 0.5 rems would be fine. Yep, that's looking amazing. So yeah, that's cool. But the next thing which I want to do is that underneath this div, or not this div, but underneath this curly braces, you just want to take care of that proceed to checkout. So I'm going to just create like margin for the top of 8. I'm going to also provide a width of 40 right here, 40 rems, and now inside there we're going to be creating padding all around of 4 and totally rounded large. Inside there we are going to be creating h2 with the class of text of extra large, and also font will be semi bold, and margin for the bottom will be set to 2. And also I'm going to just say like items, and I'm going to provide like cart items dot reduce method, provide our accumulator and also the item itself. And now here what do we want to do? We just want to provide accumulator plus item dot quantity and provide 0 right here. I'm going to save this file, and here we also have to specify the items for the label. Let's just save that. Oh, that's looking awful. That will look definitely awful. So now let me just save that. Okay, card items is not defined. Why not? We are getting this card items right here. Let me just place it right here. Save our file, refresh that. Card item dot remove from card is not defined. And who the hell write this remove from card? We have to just write reduce. And now let me just save that and refresh. And here you can see we are getting like items of 0 items right here. Or you know what, let's just remove these items from here like so, and we have items that much. There we go. Underneath this h2, what do you want to do? We also have to take care of that proceed to checkout. So I'm going to just write like div with a class of text of 2 extra large, and font will be set to totally bold. Inside there we are going to be just writing a $sign and cart items, and for this cart items we are going to be using the reduce method one more time, accumulator, and also the item itself. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go back from there and just write accumulator plus item dot quantity, come on, item dot quantity times item dot price, and here we just have to specify 0. And finally we also have to just write 2 fixed to them. So 2 fixed fixed and provide 2. Okay, so it will just fix out all of their decimal points right here. So here you can see we have this total. And yeah, that's amazing. The next thing which you want to do is that we also want to create a button right here. So button I'm gonna provide a class name right here, mbg pink 500, and margin for the top will be set to 4. Padding for the x-axis will be set to, or first of all, let me just write padding for the y-axis will be set to 2, and padding for the x-axis will be set to 4, totally rounded, and full text will be totally large, and also the width will be totally full. Okay, so for this button label, we are going to be also writing like proceed. Okay, so if I can see it, proceed, PROC or double E, yeah, proceed to checkout. So now let me just save that. And we should get that button right here. We are not. Proceed to checkout. Yep, there we go. So we have this proceed to checkout button right here. But the next thing which we want to do is that we also want to disable that. So now let me just write disable. And it will be disabled if we have a card items length, and it will be now equal to 0 if the card item length is 0. So we just want to disable that, otherwise it will be enabled. And we also want to provide that on click handler right here. So we just want to provide like checkout handler right here. So now let's just take care of all of these things like checkout handler. First of all, let me just take care of this add to cart handler. So now let me just copy that and create it right here. I'm going to write const add to cart handler, and it will take the product and also the quantity which we are already specifying there, and we just want to dispatch one add to cart, and here we just have to specify every single thing about that product and also the quantity. Save this file, refresh that, and it will do it, but we're not going to do that, not right now. And the next thing which you want to do is that we also have to take care of that, what do we call it, a remove from the card, which we have right here. So now let me just copy that and place it right here. So const remove from card, and it will only take the ID. So now let's just provide that. We already did that, by the way. So now let me just provide the remove from card and provide our ID right here, and that's it. And finally, let's just take care of this on click right here, but we are going to be just redirecting that to the shipping screen, which we are not creating, not right now. So now let me just write const checkout handler, and it will just go ahead and proceed or navigate the, come on, navigate, and it will just navigate the user to where the login and redirect equals to the shipping. There we go. Okay, so now let me just save that and refresh, and here what I want to do is that I'm going to just click on proceed to checkout, and it will now brings us to this shipping screen right here, which we did not define, not right now, and we cannot go back. So now let's just remove that, and let's just go ahead manually. I'm going to go ahead and go to the cart, and here if I want to remove this product, so we already defined a handler for that. So I'm going to just, you know what, let's just right click on that, go to that action, not action but application, and here you can see we have this cart. If I click on that, and here you can see it will now give us like your cart is empty, go to the shop and do some shopping. Okay, and here you can also see our cart item is now set to empty, and every single thing is now set to totally empty or 0. So now let's just refresh that. All right, amazing. The next thing which you want to do is that we also want, oh god damn it, man. So I'm gonna just go ahead and go to a specific product. Let's just go ahead and buy I don't know, sofa for ourselves. I know that's gonna be a lot of cash. I'm gonna go ahead and buy 4 sofas. So let's just click on add to cart, and here you can see it will now add it to my cart, and we can also increase or decrease that if you want to, like so. Okay, and if I click on this proceed to checkout, first of all, and here you can also see like it is updating lively. I forgot to show you that. If I provide like 13, and it will just increase that right here. Well, let's suppose if you just want to provide 1, so 500, we want to provide 2 of them, it will give us 1000 right here, and the items will be now added right here. So everything is working totally amazingly. Let me just add a few more. I'm gonna go ahead and buy these dumb nails. Dumbbells. Okay, so let's just provide 4 of them. Click on add to cart, and it will now brings us to this cart right here, and here you can see that you can just remove that or increase or decrease that. And then if you click on proceed to checkout, it will not do anything for now, but it will start working a bit later. Okay, so yeah, that's looking amazing. All right, so that was it about how we are going to be adding item to the cart. And now let's just take care of the shop screen. So before we getting into the shop screen, I just realized that first of all, you want to go into the navigation, and I want to do a small change in there. So underneath this cart div, So what I want to do is that I want to make it so that when somebody adds specific product to their cart, like let's suppose if I add this item to my cart, here you can see we are not getting that count of that carts. So what I want to do is that I want to make it so that when somebody add a specific product to their cart, so I want the cart count right here. Okay, so inside this navigation, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just create a div with a class of absolute, and the top will be just set to 9. And now inside there, what I want to do is that I want to just write like cart items, cart. Oh, I forgot to even grab that, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that right here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the cart items from where? From the use selector, and let's just go to the stat, and here we just want to use stat dot cart right here. Okay, so now we successfully grabbed that. Now let's just use it right here underneath our cart. If we can see it, this is a dashboard, so maybe it was here. There we go. So now we are currently working here. So what I want to do is that I'm going to just write cart items dot length first of all. So if we have some sort of an item inside that cart, if length is greater than 0, so then provide this JSX right here. So let's just write a span. Now inside the span, we're going to be also creating one more span, and padding for the x-axis will be 1, padding for the y-axis will be 0, and text of small. I'm going to also provide the text of totally white to it, and background will be totally pink 500, rounded full. And now inside there, we are going to be just writing like cart items, and then we have to use the reduce. First of all, we have to provide the accumulator and also the current item. Okay, so now I'm going to just add them. So I'm going to use like accumulator plus the cart, like the current item quantity. So I'm going to just write quantity, and here we just have to specify the 0, and that's it. So now let's just save that. And here you can see we have one item inside this cart. So now I'm going to go ahead and add one more. Let's just add these dumbbells, or maybe I'm going to add this shoe. Okay, so let's just add that. And here you can see it now become 2 right here. So this is what I want to do before we getting into the shop screen. Alright, so now let's just finally get into the shop screen. So what I want to do is that I'm gonna go ahead and go to the Redux, and inside this Redux we want to go to the feature, and inside this feature I'm gonna create one folder for the, what do we call it, the shop. Okay, and now inside this shop we are going to be creating one file for shop slice.js right here. And the first thing which I want to do is that I'm gonna grab the create slice from, let's just go ahead and go to the Redux toolkit and grab that from there. And now let's just create our shop slice, and it will be now equals to create slice. And now inside there, first of all, we are going to be specifying the name. So name will be shop, and also we are going to be specifying the initial state. So let me just grab that and put it right here. The first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to just specify the categories to the empty array, and next I'm going to also specify the products to the empty array, and also for the checked of empty array, and I guess radio will be also empty array, and brand check boxes will be also an not an empty array, but it will be an object, empty object. And now I'm going to also specify the checked brands, and it will be also set to empty array right here. Okay, so now let me just go back, and here we are using it right here. Okay, so that's looking amazing. The next thing which you have to do is that we have to create our reducers, and also inside this reducer we have to create our actions. So like set categories. For the setting categories, we are going to be using stat and action right here. And now inside there we are going to be just writing like stat dot categories, and it will be now equals to action dot payload. That's it. Okay, so I'm not going to waste your time, so I'm going to just duplicate that a few times. So like this one will be for setting the categories, then the set products, and set check, and also set radio. Okay, so let me just write like set products, and this one will be just set to products right here, and also this one will be set checked, and here we just have to write checked right here. That's looking cool. And finally for the radio, so we are going to be just writing like set radio, and here we just have to write radio. And I'm gonna also create one for the brands, so this one will be just for set selected brands. I'm gonna save this file. Let me just go back because I feel like I way zoomed in. Okay, and that's it for the shop slice right here. And now let me just export every single thing. So I'm going to use export const, and now let's just export all of that stuff from the shop slice.actions. Okay, so the first thing which I wanted to export will be for the set categories, also for the set product, and also for the set checked. And I guess that would do it. Okay. Well, you know what? We also forgot to include set radio and also the set check, not set check, but set selected brand. There we go. So I'm gonna save this file. And finally, let's just export default the shop slice dot reducer. There we go. So now let me just save this file, and that's it for this shop slice. And now let me just go ahead and go to the store, and now let me just register there right here. Okay, so underneath this card, I'm gonna also import my what do we call a shop reducer, reducer, from where? From, let's just go ahead one time to this Redux, and then I'm gonna go into the feature, and inside this feature we want to go to the shop, and inside the shop we just have only one file right here. Now let me just copy them, and here I'm going to just make like shop, and now let me just use it right here. So I'm going to just save this file, and that's it for the Redux side. So now let me just use all of that inside a UI. I'm going to go ahead and go to the pages folder, and inside this pages folder we are going to be creating the shop.jsx right here. I'm going to write RAFCE and bang, and now let's just go ahead and go to the main and register that right here. Okay, so I'm going to just grab my shop from the shop. I'm going to copy that, and now let me just use that right here. Let's just duplicate that, change that to shop, and now let me just use my shop right here. I'm going to save my file, and now let's just go ahead and go to our shop right here. So now let me just click on that, and here you can see we are not getting anything. That's because that is hidden underneath this, I don't know, whatever, this navigation. There we go. So to work with the shop, first of all, we want to grab a few things. So I'm going to grab my use effect first of all, and also I'm going to grab my use stat, and that's it. Just kidding. We have to get a lot of things. Use dispatch, and also the use selector from the what do we call it, from the React Redux, and also we wanted to get or endpoint right here, which will be use get filtered. I'm gonna just grab that in a few seconds, but first of all let me just provide the path of Redux, and inside this Redux we have to specify the API and then the product API slice right here. And now here I'm gonna just write like use get filtered. I just realized that we didn't even create this get filtered products query. I guess we didn't create that. So now let me just go ahead and check that out. We have get filtered. Yep, we didn't create that. And I just realized that we didn't even create the back inside. Yep, I guess I didn't. Let me just go ahead and go to the controllers and also the routes. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the not user routes but the product routes. So the first thing which I want to do is that I'm gonna just create a route right here. Let me just save that. Let me just cut that here, save this file so that we don't get any errors. So I'm gonna just write like route first of all, and then we have to go into the filtered product. So this is going to be our route, and I mean like endpoint, and here we just have to provide the post right here. So it will be a post method. So we are going to be just writing like filter products right here. Let me just copy that and create a controller for that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the controllers, go to the bottom, and now let me just register that right here. Filter products or filtered. Yeah, I guess filter would be fine. So I'm going to just write const filter products async handler, and here we just have to specify the async keyword, request response, and now inside there we are going to be using the try and catch blocks. For the catch we are going to be just using console.error, and here I'm going to just specify the error right here, and then rest.status dot 500 and JSON server error. For the try block we are going to be first of all getting the check, come on, const checked, and also the radio from the user. So it will be now equals to request.body, and now let's just use that right here. So let args, and it will be now equals to just an empty object. And now let me just check if the checked.length is what is greater than 0. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to write like args.category will be equals to now checked. Okay, and the next thing which I want to do is that I'm gonna just write like if radio.length. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to write like args.price will be now equals to, let's just use our mongoose operator like greater than or equal to radio, and here we just have to specify the zero, I mean like the first index. And also let's just use or less than or equal to, then we just have to specify 1 right here in this case. And yeah, that's it. The next thing which you have to do is that we have to go ahead and find the arguments inside that product models which we created. So I'm going to just write like product dot, come on, product model, and then find, and here we just have to specify the arguments right here. Okay, so that's that. Now let me just use like res.json, and here we just have to specify the products right here. I'm going to save this file, and that's it for this endpoint right here. We also create what do we call it, the endpoint for that, and also the controllers. So I guess that would be it for the backend. So now let's just close both of these files, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the product API slice right here. And now let me just define that endpoint right here. The endpoint name will be get filtered products, and it will take a builder, and the query, it will take a query. Inside there we just have to specify the query like so, and we just want to destructure the checked and also the radio, which we are going to be specifying it right here. Okay, so now inside there, what do you want to do? First of all, we have to specify the endpoint. So the endpoint will be product URL, and it will go to the filter. Was that filtered or filter? I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the product routes, and let me just check that, or even grab that from here. Let me just copy that and place it right here. Okay, and provide a comma, provide a method of post, and the body, it will take like checked, which you already destructured, checked, and also the radio. So now let me just create a hook for that. So I'm gonna just get there and create a hook for there right here, which will say like use get filtered products query. Was that? Yeah, that's query. So yeah, now let me just use that right here inside a shop. Let's just use import. Let me zoom in a bit, and we are going to be importing something from the Redux, and then we want to go to the features, not a feature but the API, and then the products API slice right here. Okay, so I'm going to use get filter products query, and that's it. And the next thing which you want to do is that you want to import a lot of things from the Redux and feature, and we want to go to the shop and the shop slice right here. Okay, so we just want to get the set categories. We also wanted to get the set product and also the set checked right here. Let's just go back. Underneath there, we are going to be also getting our loader. So I'm going to write loader and grab that right here. So now let me just save that. So that's it for now, but we are going to need a few more things a bit later. So I'm going to just write like const dispatch, and it will be now equals to the use dispatch, and execute that. And then let's just grab our categories, products, and checked, also the radio from where, from the use selector, and here we just have to specify the state. And now let me just use state.shop right here, and now underneath there we are going to be also getting the categories query. So I'm going to use like I guess I forgot to include the categories right here, so now let me just grab that. I keep forgetting a lot of things nowadays. So let me just go ahead and go to the Redux, and also go to the API and the categories API right here. Use fetch categories query. So now let me just use that right here, const categories query, and it will be now equals to the use fetch categories query, and execute that. And now let me just create a state for our price, and also, or not price but price filter, which we are going to be using a bit later, and set price filter, and it will be now equals to the use state, and currently we just want to set that to empty string right here. And the next thing which I want to do is that I also wanted to get filtered products query. So I'm going to use like filtered products query, and it will be now equals to the use get filters filtered products query. And now inside there we are going to be specifying the checked and also the radio. Underneath there we are going to be using our use effect. So I'm going to use like use effect, and here we just have to write first of all check if not categories query dot is loading. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to dispatch what, the set categories, and here we just have to specify the category query dot, come on, category category query, categories query dot data right here. So if it's not loading, so just dispatch the categories query data. And here for the dependency array, we are going to be providing the categories query, and also the categories query.data specifically, and also dispatch that right here. And I'm going to create one more use effect right here, so I'm going to use like use effect. And here for the dependency array, we are going to be providing a lot of things, but first of all, let me just check. If not checked dot length, come on, if I can, length, or not radio dot length. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to check one more time. If not filtered, products query dot is loading. So what do you want to do? We just want to filter products based on both the checked, come on, checked categories and price filter. Okay, so this is what we want to do. So now let me just save that, and here let me just write my filtered products. So I'm going to use like filtered products, and it will be now equals to the filter products query and then data. And now let's just iterate over through that, or filter through that, and here we just have to specify our product, or you can also write as p if you wanted to. And now inside there we are going to be checking for check if the product price includes the entered price filter value. Okay, so now I'm going to just return. Let's just go back so you guys can see everything a bit better. And I'm going to use the product.price.toString. ToString, we just want to convert that to string because currently we already provide the initial value of string, so we just have to convert that to string, and it will be includes, and here we just have to specify the price filter. And if that's not the case, so let's just check for or product dot price is triple equals to, and now here we are going to be using the parse int right here. We are going to be converting that to the integer, and price filter, and here we just have to specify 10. Now let me just save that, and I guess that's it. So now finally let's just dispatch that. Underneath that, here what I want to do is that I'm going to just use the dispatch, and I'm going to just provide a set products. Come on, set products, and let me just provide my filtered products right here. Save my file, and that should do it. Okay, if I didn't make any mistakes, so that should do it. And I feel like creating all of that handlers too, and then using that inside our JSX. So I don't know if I should first of all write a JSX and then bind that what do we call it, that handlers, or should I build it right now? You know what, I'm gonna just build it right away because I've been doing the other way for a very long time. Maybe I'm gonna just try this. I don't know if you guys would like that or not. So I'm explaining every single thing right here, but I don't know if you guys will like it or not. So now let me just create their handlers, and then I'm going to use that inside our JSX. So what I want to do is that first of all, I'm going to create the handle brand click. So when somebody clicks on a specific brand, so what do you want to do? We just want to get a brand, because obviously we want to click on some brand. So we just want to write const products by brand. So we just only wanted to get all of that product or that specific product based on a specific brand. So we are going to be just writing like filtered products query, and we are going to be using a data if we have some data, and we are going to be just iterating over through all of that brands, only all of their products which have their specific brand. So I'm going to just write like product dot brand, it will be now equals to brand. And finally we just have to dispatch that. So we are going to be using like set products, just set products, and we just have to specify the products by brand right here. So that was our first handler. Now let me just create one more, which will be for the handle check. So I'm going to just use like handle check, and it will now take the value and also the ID as well. Const updated checked, and it will be now equals to the value if we have some. So what do you want to do? We just want to get all of their checked items, and we want to provide the ID right here. If that's not the case, on the other hand, so we just want to provide checked not filter, and here we just have to specify the C, and let's just check if what do we call it, C is not equal to ID. Okay, so let's just go back like so, and I guess that should do it. And I'm gonna just finally dispatch what do we call it, that set checked, and here we just have to provide our updated check right here. So now let me just save that, and it will just auto format it for me. The next thing which we want to do is that we wanted to get, come on, we want to get add all brands options or option to unique brands. Okay, so we just want to write like const unique. Let's just zoom in a bit. Brands will be now equals to this array, and now inside there, first of all, we are going to be destructuring array dot from, and inside there we are going to be just providing the new set. It will gives us only the unique items, so we are going to be just writing like filtered products query dot data. So if we have this filtered products data, so we just want to iterate over to all of them, and we just want to provide the product, that specific product if we have that, and also the product brand. So we just want to get a product brand, and I'm going to also attach one more helper which will be for filtered. So we just also want to filter the brands as well. So we just want to get the brand, and how can we check that? We just want to check if the brand is not equal to undefined. So it will give us their unique brand. And I guess that's it for this unique brands. The next thing which you want to do is that we also want to create one for the handle price change. It will take the event object, and now inside there we just want to update the price filter state when the user types in the input field. Okay, so we just want to get like set price filter, and we just want to provide the e.target.value right here. And that's it. So now let's get into the JSX, and now let's just use all of that handlers right here. Okay, so I'm going to just remove this div right here, and I'm going to make it as a React fragment. And now inside there we are going to be first of all creating our container. So I'm going to use like container, and also margin for the x-axis will be set to auto. And now inside there we are going to be creating a div with a class of flex. For the medium screen it will be flex row. Come on, flex row. R or W, there we go. And now inside there we are going to be also creating one more div with the background color of this 151515 times. And I'm going to also specify padding for all around will be set to 3, and margin for the top will be set to 2, margin for the bottom will be set to 2 as well. Now here let me just use h2 with the class of h4, and also text will be set to center, and the padding for the y-axis will be set to 2, background will be set to totally black, and also rounded totally full. For the margin bottom we are going to be just using 2, and filter by categories. Let's just save that, and you must pass a selector to a use selector. What's up with that? You must pass a selector to a use selector. It should not be a use selector. It should be just a use stat. There we go. Now let me just save that and refresh, and guess what, we got one more. The maximum update depth proceed. Oh, we forgot to include the dependencies array right here for this one. That's a lot of bugs, Hussein. That's a lot of bugs. So for the dependency array I'm going to also provide the check, the radio, and the filtered product query right here dot data, and also the dispatch when it's dispatch, and also the price filter. Okay, so now let me just save that, and now let's just refresh that, and we are getting an awful result right here as our navigation filter by categories. We are getting that totally a-okay, but that's now how I wanted that to be. I don't know why, but that's looking awful. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and write all of the JSX, and then we're gonna take care of that small little details. Underneath this h2, what do you want to do? We just want to write padding all around of 5, and also I'm going to specify the width of 15 rims. Okay, inside there let's just iterate over through all of that categories which we have. Categories.map, but before I do, let's just check if we have a category. So now let's just provide our category right here, and I'm going to just specify the div like so. For the key I'm going to specify the product ID, and also let's just provide a class name of margin bottom of 2. And now inside there we are going to be creating one more div with the class of flex, and items will be set to center, and margin for the right will be set to 4. And inside there we are going to be also specifying the input. For the input we are going to be just, the type will be checkbox, because first of all you want to take care of the checkboxes. The ID I'm going to specify the ID of like red checkbox or something like that. For the on change we are going to be also specifying the event object, and also the handle check which we already created. So we are going to be specifying the e.target.value, or not value but checked, and also we have to specify a specific ID right here. So now let me just save that, And here you can see we are getting all of that input field. So now let me just render all of that label right here for this input field. So we are going to be just writing label, and for the input we are going to be just writing, or HTML4 we are going to be just writing like pink checkbox or something like that. And now inside this label we are going to be also providing a few classes to it. So like class name, margin for the left will be set to 2, text will be totally small, font will be medium, text will be totally white, and also for the dark we are going to be specifying text of totally gray of 300. There we go. And let's just render our names right here. So the category is name, so I'm going to save this file, and here you can see we have these categories like camera, sofa, gym, shoes, MacBook, and all of that. But now these input fields are looking totally awful. Okay, so now let me just provide a lot of CSS classes right here. Well, not a CSS classes, but a Tailwind CSS classes. So I'm going to copy that and place it right here because I don't want to waste your time. And that's a lot. So are you ready? Let me just place that right here, and you have to type them manually. Okay, my job is done, but you have to type them manually. So now let me just refresh that and click on each of them. Here you can see they are looking amazing. Okay, so if you want this same functionality, so you can go ahead and go to my GitHub repository and grab this styling from there. So that's it for the categories. The next thing which I want to do is that I wanted to also take care of the brands. Okay, so this one will be for the categories. So if I just, or you know what, we already have these labels, so I don't have to write a comments. So let's just take care of the brands. Let me just write h2 with a class of h4, and text of totally center, and padding for the y-axis will be 2, and background will be totally black, and rounded large or full margin for the bottom will be set to 2, and filter by brands. Okay, and let's just save that, and this is how it looks like. Now the next thing which you have to do is that underneath this h2 we just have to write our div with a class of padding all around of 5, not 54 but 5. And now inside there we are going to be rendering our unique brands. If we have unique brands, we just have to write or iterate over through their unique brands, and we have to specify the brand right here. And let me just use my React fragment, and inside there we are going to be using our div. There we go. And I'm going to also provide a class name of flex, and items will be center, margin for the right will be set to 4, margin for the bottom will be set to 5. And now inside there we are going to be providing our input field. For the input field we are going to be checking that or setting that to radio, and also let me provide the ID of brand to it, which we are getting, and also the name will be set to brand. I'm going to also specify the on change right here when somebody changed this. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to handle the brand click, which we are already creating, but here we just have to specify that brand right here. So handle brand click right here. So this is what we are using right now, and I'm gonna save this file, and here you can see we are getting all of their brands right here, but that's looking awful. So first of all, let me just provide their labels right here. So underneath this input we just have to write our label, and I'm going to specify the class of margin for the left will be 2, text will be totally small, and font will be medium. Text will be totally white, and dark. For the dark, what do you want to do? We just want to try text of gray 300. For the HTML4 we are going to be just writing pink radio. So now let me just render my unique brand. Okay, so let me just write brand, save my file, and there we go. Here you can see we have all of that brands right here. So if I click on each of them, it will render that specific brand, which you will see in a few seconds. So now let me just provide all of that styling to this one as well. So I'm gonna copy a lot of classes one more time. Let me just place it right here. Okay, and once again you can find all of the code in my GitHub repository. So now let me just save that, and this is how it looks like right here. Bang bang. They're looking amazing. And by the way, there is one more catch. If I select, like, I don't know, MacBook, it will only give us all of their specific categories based on that MacBook right here. If I also check the PC, it will also give us all of their categories based on that specific product right here. Like for this PC we have this Cyber, Power PC, MSI, and we also have a PC. Let's just click on the shoe, and it will also give us all of their shoes right here. Then click on a gym, sofa, it will give us all of that. Let's just refresh that. And that's looking amazing. So underneath this div, what do you want to do? We just want to also filter for the price. Okay, so I'm gonna write div with a class of, or not div, but h2 with a class of h4, and text will be center, and padding for the y-axis will be set to 2, background will be set to totally black, rounded and full. For the margin bottom we are going to be specifying 2 and filter by price. So now let's just save that, and here you can see we have a filter by price. I'm gonna just check this MacBook, so we only get one brand right here. Underneath this H2, what do you want to do? We just want to create a div with a class of padding all around of 5, and I'm gonna also specify some width to it. So the width will be 15 rem, and now inside there we are going to be providing an input field. For the input field it will be text, and also it will take a placeholder of enter. Price value will be the price filter. Come on, price filter. Why is that not defined? Let's just go ahead and go to the top. We have already used that, which we already did. So why it's not defined? Let's just copy that and let me just use it right here. PRICEFILTER. Yep, I guess my spelling was incorrect. So that was it for the value, and now let's just provide the on change handler. For the on change handler we are going to be specifying the handle price change, and now I'm gonna save this file. So it will give us this input field right here. If I type something in this input field like any number, so it will give us that specific product based on that specific price right here. Okay, but now let me just provide a little bit of styling to this one as well. I just copy these few CSS classes or 10 CSS classes. Now let me just save that, and it's not that much, but it is making it blue. It is just making it on a focus tab. It is, yeah, that's it. And instead of blue I'm gonna make it like pink. So save my file, and now when somebody focus on that border focus, we don't even have our blue. Why in the world we are getting blue right here? Border pink 300. I don't know why, but this is what it is. Anyway, so I'm gonna just select one of that in one of that categories. So now let's just take care of the reset. So underneath this div, what do you want to do? You just want to create one more div, and I'm gonna also provide padding for the top of 0. Inside there we're going to be creating a button, and this button will take classes of class name. Let's just provide width of full, and border margin for the y-axis will be set to 4. Inside there we're going to be just writing a reset, and I also forgot to include the on click handler right here. So when somebody clicks on that, it will just only refresh the page. So window.location.reload. Okay, so it will just only refresh the web page right here. So let's suppose if I just select I don't know, a shoe and also a gym, and if I click on the reset, so it will just reset everything right here. And finally, the moment of truth. Let's just render all of our products right here. Okay, so underneath these two divs, what do you want to do? We just want to write first of all the div with a class of padding for the all around. We are going to be providing 3, and inside there we are going to be writing h2 of I don't know, h4, and then text of totally center, and margin for the bottom will be set to 2, and let's just provide 2, and here we just have to check if we have a product, then just get a length of that products right here. So if you save that and product is not defined, it should be products. So now let me just save that, and here you can see we have 2 products right here. That's because we select something. So now let me just refresh that, and here you can see we have 12 products right here. So if I select like each of the categories, it will give us like only 3 products we have inside that category. If we select more, so it will give us all of their products right here. Amazing. So now let me just take care of that product card, but first of all I'm gonna write a flex, and flex will be set to wrap. We just want to wrap around all of the products. So let's suppose if we have a product, like if we have products plural is equal to 0. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to say like a loader. I know that's not a best idea, but this is what we got for now. Okay, and now let me just write products. If we have a products, then we just have to iterate over through that. So let me just get each of the product, and here inside there we are going to be just writing like I don't know, maybe a div would be fine. So now let me just write a div, close that div right here, and I'm going to provide the class names of padding all around will be set to 3. I'm going to also specify the key of specific product ID right here. Now inside there we are going to be creating our product card right here, and we're going to be specifying this product right here. So now let me just save that. It will obviously give us an error because this is not defined. So now let me just create that. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the products folder, and inside this products folder we are going to be creating our product or yeah, product card.jsx right here. I'm going to use RAFCE. Let's just remove that, save our file, and now let's just auto import that right here. Come on, if I can get that. There we go. So now let me just save that, and here you can see we are getting product, and yeah, all of their products. So now let me just go ahead and build this product card right here. So for this product card, we are going to need a few things. The first thing we would need is the link. So now let's just import the link from the React Router DOM. We are going to also need the AI outline shopping card right here, and we are going to also need the dispatch. We are going to be using like use dispatch, and also the add to cart. So we are going to use like add to cart. I'm going to also get my toast. So let's just get the toast from where? From the React Toastify, and that's it. And also the heart icon, which we are going to be also using right here. Inside that, what do you want to do? We just want to first of all dispatch, and it will be now equals to the use dispatch, and execute that. And now let's just get ready ourselves for writing a lot of JSX right here. So I'm going to write class name of max width of small relative, background will be 1a 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 3 times rounded totally large, shadow, which we are going to be also specifying the dark, will be background gray of 800 right here. And now inside there, or you know what, we are going to also provide one more for the dark. So dark border will be gray of 700. We are going to be using a section of come on, relative, relative, and here we just have to use our link, and it will brings us to a specific product. So for that, we are going to use first of all the product, and then we have to render our product dynamically, or yeah, or a specific product dynamically. So now let me just use a span, and here we are going to be just using like absolute, ABSOLUTE, and bottom of 3. Come on, bottom of 3. For the right, we are going to be also providing 3, and background will be totally set to pink of 100, and text will be set to pink of 8800, and text will be small too, and font will be medium, medium, and margin for the right will be set to 2, padding for the x-axis will be 2.5, padding for the y-axis will be 0.5, rounded will be set to 4, dark we are going to be providing the background of pink 900, and for the dark one more time we are going to be specifying the pink 3000. Now inside there we just have to render our product if we have one, like the product specific product brand. So now let me just use that, and we are not getting anything. We are getting undefined instead. Oh, that's because we are not destructuring that, so we just have to destructure that, and that's cool. And look at that. That's looking awful. And we are destructuring this paragraph, which we are specifying it right here, like, which means like these are all the products which we have right now. So I'm going to just click on one so that we can work with that. So currently we don't have any products, so that's why it is now popping up right here. Okay, so we're going to take care of that in a few seconds, but I want you to just bear with me. Underneath this span, I'm going to write my image, and here we're going to be just rendering our image right here from that product. And also for what do we call it, for the alternative text, we are going to be just writing the product name, and I'm going to also specify a few styling manually, like the height will be 100, I don't know, 170 pixel, and the object will be fit of totally cover. Amazing. And let's just also provide a little bit of classes to it. So I'm going to provide a class name, and it will be cursor pointer, and the width will be full. So now let me just save that, and it should give us that images right here, and that's looking amazing. And here you can also see that what do we call it, that badges or labels or whatever you want to call that. Underneath them we also want to render our heart, so we are going to be just writing like heart icon, and here we just have to specify our product right here. So now let me just close that, save our file, and here you should get this heart. So if you click on that, okay, it will brings us to the specific heart right here. Oh, and it will also even select that. We don't want that functionality. I guess I click on the image. Let me just click on that, and we don't want to happen. That's a bug. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cut this link from here and just provide it for the image. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do that. Or you know what, let's just push this hard to the bottom of this link. So we are getting all of these products and we don't want them. I'm going to click on one of them. And now if I just deselect that, and now here you can see that's totally worked. So now we don't have to go ahead and go to a specific product to select it or make it to a favorite. Anyway, so we just have to push that to the bottom right here. Underneath this section, we just want to provide padding all around of 5, and also the flex and justify will be set to between. And inside there, we are going to be just writing like H5 of margin for the bottom. We are going to be just specifying 2, and text will be extra large. And also text will be totally white, and dark we're going to be specifying the text of totally white right here. And inside there we just have to render the product name if you have that. So let's just save that, and here you can see we are now getting the product name, and that's looking amazing. Now underneath this name we also want to render the currency, so I'm going to write like text of black, font will be semi bold, and text will be totally pink of 500 right here. Inside there we are going to be checking if we have a product, so we just want to get a currency, I mean like not a currency but a price. If we have a price, so we just want to change that to locale string. We just want to provide the English and US. Okay, if you are using some other currency, so you can specify there if you want to, but in my case I'm going to provide the English US, and for the style we are going to be providing the currency, and also the currency will be equals to the US dollar. Okay, so now let me just save that. And I forgot the E right here, so to locale string. So I'm gonna save this file and select a specific price right here, or maybe a specific category, and we are getting the price right here, but the names are like the names are totally large, so that's why we are getting this clunky kind of UI right here. But I'm gonna take care of that a bit later. You don't have to worry about that. If you download the code from the GitHub repository, you will get the clean UI, not like this one. But I don't know, I'm recording right now, so that's why I'm getting this kind of ugly UI right here. Anyways, we're gonna take care of that a bit later. Underneath this paragraph in div, we also have to render the description, so I'm going to use like margin for the bottom will be set to 3, and the font will be normal, and text will be CF, 1 CF, 2 CF, and 3 CF. So this is going to be the color. And now here we just have to write we just have to check if you have the product, then you want to get the description, DESCRIPTION. If you have the product description, so we just want to get a few, I mean like 60 character or 60 words. So I'm going to use like sub string right here. I'm going to put a 0 and 60. Other than that, we're going to be just writing dot dot dot. So I'm going to save this file, and here you can see we are now getting this description, and finally we are getting this dot 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 right here. Okay, so that's looking amazing. Now the next thing which you want to do is that we also want to render the read more button right here. So I'm going to just write like I'm going to create a section with the class of flex and justify between, and also the items will be set to center. Let me just write my link, and it will go to a specific product right here. So I'm going to write a product, and here we just have to render our ID right here for a specific product. I'm going to go ahead and provide a lot of classes right here, so you can pause the video and retype all of them by yourself, or you can go to my GitHub repository, give it a star, and also copy this code right here. Okay, so here for the label we are going to be just writing like read more, and now let's just save that. And here you can see we are getting this read more right here. That's looking amazing. If you click on that, it will just bring us to this specific product right here. So I'm going to go back. If you click on this one, we are now getting this product. Now let me just go back, and that's looking amazing. And the next thing which I want to do is that here I'm going to also provide the SVG right here, this SVG. I know you might be saying like, HuXn, you are just copying and pasting, but these are the things that doesn't require explanation. So that's why I'm copying that and pasting it right here. I don't want to waste your time. So you can just place this SVG right here and save that. And here you can see it will just give us this arrow right here. You don't even have to do that, by the way, if you don't want to do that. If you want to use the icon, so feel free to use the icon, but I prefer this SVG, so I'm going to just place it right here. Underneath this link, what do you want to do? We just want to write a button, and for this button we are going to be just writing the classes of padding all around will be set to 2, rounded, totally full. And now here we just have to also attach the on click event handler on that, and here we just have to write like add to cart, baby, and we are going to be creating the add to cart handler in a few seconds. So I'm going to specify the product and also one. Okay, so here I just have to use the AI outline shopping AI outline shopping cart, which we already grabbed. So here we also have to increase the size of that. So I'm going to just specify the size, and come on, size, and the size will be 25 only. So I'm going to save this file. It will obviously give us an error. Okay, it's not giving us an error, but once we click on that, it will give us an error. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create this handler right away before I forget anything. Underneath this dispatch, I'm going to just create like add to cart handler. It will be totally the same as the previous one. So I'm going to just provide the quantity right here and the product. And here we just have provided a dispatch, and we are going to be just providing like add to cart, which we already grabbing. And here we just have to specify the entire product and also the quantity. Once we add a specific product to the cart, so then we just want to provide a toast of success. And I'm going to just write like I don't know, item added successfully. And in this case, I'm going to also specify the position. You don't even have to do that, by the way. If you wanted to, feel free to do that. If you don't worry. So position of top, and I'm going to just make it top right. I'm going to also provide the auto close to it, and the auto close will take 2 seconds only. So now let me just save that, and everything is looking cool. But if I click on this product, and here you can see item added successfully to the cart, and here you can also see it increase right here, like we have 3. If I click on that, and here you can see it now become 4, and we are getting this pop-up box right here. So I guess that was everything which we need to do right now. So I'm going to just refresh to get all of the items which you have right here. And there we go. Here you can see we have all of their products right here, which we have inside our database. So we can just go ahead and check out the product detail. We can add it to the cart, or we can do a filtering right here, filter by category. So let's suppose if you just want to get a camera, so I'm going to just click on the camera right here. So here you can see we just have 2 cameras, so it will now add these 2 cameras only. The next thing which I want to do is that here you can see if we select only cameras, it will only give us the camera, and it will only give us a specific brands right here. So if you want to select a specific item by a specific brand, so now let me just click on this Fuji film. So here you can see it will only give us this one camera. If you click on the codec, so it will now give us this codec right here. Amazing. So yeah, what I want to do is that I'm going to just click on this one. So we are also searching for the cameras and also for the sofa. I'm going to just search for a specific price, like I don't know, maybe I don't know, this price would be fine. Or you know what, I'm going to just write like 1 at 9. So here you can see it will only gives us that specific product right here. But if you have like more than one product based on that price, it will give us all of their products right here. If we click on the reset button, and I guess that's it. If you want to add more styling to it, feel free to go ahead and provide a lot of styling to it. I know that's looking confusing, like look at some of these prices. Here you can see that's looking awful, but you can take care of the rest of them if you wanted to. But for me, that's it for the add to cart and also for the shop screen. Okay, next we are going to be taking care of the orders and the payment, and finally we are going to be creating the admin dashboard, and that would be it. Okay, so you can also add a specific item to that favorites right here if you wanted to, and that's it. See you in the next one.